ranges, and it makes all of my guys invisible here, so that prevents me from taking any more shooting damage. I used it a bit late though. There wasn't really much point in putting it down at that exact point in time. And man, that Guardian squad with the Warlock is doing a great job of securing everything at the 6 o'clock position of the map. They've temporarily moved out of position. Oh no, this is the squad I was talking about down here. Yeah, I thought it was the other squad. Rippers, just ignoring them. Rippers, the only purpose of the Rippers there for my opponent is to try and decap the VP. But the Guardians are going to attack them every time they try to do that. So I'm really glad I've got that squad down there. What I really need to be doing is throwing more grenades at them though, because grenades, fantastic against Rippers, really gets rid of them in short order. And platform's in a good opportunity to, a good position to actually take care of that power node. But the Tyranids are on the way, and using some invisibility on the ranges just to avoid their long-range fire. looking like there's some spore mines in the background. Farseer may want to engage them to try and pop them off before they blow up, but the Farseer is very low on health, so I may have to retreat with quite a lot of guys here. That Tyrant Hive Tyrant though is really taking a lot of flack, and in fact the Tyrant Hive Tyrant's gone down, and a grenade going off over the Tyrant Warriors, although that's too many Tyranids for me to deal with. I'm pulling back, and really it's just a matter of getting as many kills on the Tyranids, especially their commander, before I pull back and hopefully just win the war of attrition that way and just keep coming back in. The points in the center of the map will change hands quite a lot with this kind of thing going on. Another grenade going off, this time getting a couple of kills, a couple of hits rather. Not sure if that was any kills, but really trying to avoid that group of small mines. As I was saying, if you pull this kind of strategy and just fall back with all of your forces, obviously the enemy takes their points back, but they've taken some damage during the fight, so you come back and send them back home while you take the points back, and it really comes down to who can actually wither down his opponent the most, who can take the most damage straight up, and there's a ranger popping the spore mine, so that's very handy. And quick check of the victory points, looks like my opponent has more of them than I do, I think. Can't really, if I'm actually looking at a VOD on my desktop. I think I'm losing in terms of victory conditions. Throwing a grenade at the power node to try and decap it, very successful. Those Guardians doing a lot of damage. Looks like the Hive Tyrant is back, but is just charging down the barrel of that platform once again and pulling back. So, man, things not going well for the Tyranids in that regard, but there are plenty of Tyrant Warriors there. Just throwing down some Camellia line, or whatever you call it, to just make my guys invisible to prevent any further damage from being taken from those Tyrant Warriors. So wow, I can't believe I'm actually using ranges to some degree of effectiveness. This is actually very cool, and I'm very excited that I can use a different unit in the patch. Sadly though, it might be the case that, instead of Rangers being useless, now it's Howling Banshees. They've really been nerfed. I haven't tried them out. Maybe they are good at countering certain units at certain times. I would like to think so, but at the moment all we're seeing is a change rather than like a balancing out of the whole system. Well, there is a little bit of that. I mean, I think I still would build a squad of Warp Spiders if I desperately needed to counter something, but usually I would counter things like Assault Marines with Warp Spiders, and Assault Marines are a lot worse now anyway, so maybe you just don't need Warp Spiders anymore. We'll find out soon. I'll have to play the patch a bit more. I still only had 2 games. I'll give it more of a go. Got a Fire Prism, so wow, Tier 3, and the game has gone to Tier 3, and this was one of my major complaints in the previous patches, that Tier 3 didn't really matter. You couldn't really win the game in Tier 3. The game would usually be won earlier on. Not really the case right now, is it? Because I've got to Tier 3. The game obviously is still in contention. And man, I've got a Fire Prism, so this is really cool. It's really fun getting to use this high-tech tier stuff, because Relic have done a good job actually making the stuff look cool. And bam, watch this. Every time the Fire Prism fires, it just blows away the Tyranids, and there's a Lictor in the thick of it, so really having to try and cut my losses there. That Fire Prism, man, it's great against those clustered up Tyranids hanging out by the VP, but that Lictor's doing a lot of damage there. Still, Eldar forces leveling up like crazy, and this Guardian squad down to the south has just been left alone to do its thing, and eventually I'll be able to take that power from the Tyranids. And there we go. So time to move in, knock it out. There's one power generator next to it, so that will actually give me control of that power, and it'll be quite annoying for my opponent. He'll have to send some units out to deal with it. In the meantime, my forces over at the north will be taking all of the points back, so Quite feeling confident about that. Also, here's a D-cannon weapon team, so here's another rare unit that you wouldn't have seen in the previous batch from me. I've decided to build this because my opponent has really been clustering his forces up with lots of ranged Tyrant warriors, and if I get a few D-cannon shots off on that, it should do quite well. I've set the arc of fire up, hopefully in the angle that I expect the Tyrants to move in, and here they come now. Hopefully they move into range so we can see some D-cannon action. Wait for it. Come on. Just a little bit closer. And most of them are going around the building. Ah, crap. Oh, here we go. Bam! D-cannon. And, oh, there's a grenade. Smack. Okay, so that's a little bit more effective. Getting some damage off on the Tyrants before they get close enough. But here's the Lictor leaping into combat with my D-cannon, so that sucks. I guess D-cannons still aren't brilliant, are they? Not against this kind of army. And there's the Lictor chasing my guys down and getting a couple of hits off with the Fire Prism before the Tyrants get to close combat. Bam! And now it's time for the sneaky Eldar tactic of just pulling back, and it's great that they've made the Prism able to reverse now. It's made it so much better. It really sucked that it couldn't reverse before, and taking all of the power nodes at the bottom of the map, the 6th block. Doing very well there. The Prism still hasn't gone down yet, but with all those Tyrant warriors attacking it, I expect it to be killed before long. Farseer in close combat. By the way, there's the Fire Prism going down, alright. Just in terms of equipment, with the Farseer, what I do is I get the Ghost Helm first, and I always use the Ghost Helm, because you can really hurt enemy commanders as well as things like Tyrant warriors. Secondly, I go for the Armor of Fortune. Mostly, there are some other good types of armor for the Farseer, but that particular armor is very good all-round kind of armor. And for the weapon, usually go for that Singing Spear just in case they have some kind of vehicle type unit or Carnifex or something. Although that blade that gives you Doom can be quite handy. Haven't really made much use of that Leviathan weapon, but I need to. The one that makes the opponents levitate. Once I start really getting comfortable with this build, I'll start doing that because I know that could be a very, very effective ability. Hopefully getting a D-cannon shot here, but man, the D-cannon's been picked off, unfortunately, and there's that squad of Ripper Swarms yet again. Single... Oh, check out these bad boys! Oh yeah! Man, 15 minutes into the game and I've got some Seer Council now. I've been able to achieve that, A, because the requisition system's given me enough requisition to buy them, B, because the game's gone on long enough for me to get enough Psychic Might to get them, and C, because the patch has actually made them cheaper. Less Psychic Might cost, less requisition cost, so finally we get to see some Seer Council in action in a real game, in an actual serious game, and I'm really stoked about this because this is what a good RTS should be about. It's about